So we always talk about the red Chevy SS. Well, guess what? Today we're going to talk about the 2014 Volkswagen Golf GTI Driver's Edition. So let's go. Okay, make sure you get the cars in the back. Man, I love my red SS. I love my Holden Commodore Chevy SS. But there's another car I love. My 2014 Volkswagen Golf GTI Driver's Edition. The truth about this car is it's my wife's daily driver, and it's very practical. Let's take a look. So you got this huge trunk hatch, whatever you want to call it. For such a small car, it's pretty big back there. It even comes with a first aid kit. Back seat, although it is tight for most average size adults, I'll give you that. Front cabin, pretty roomy too for a small car. There's your 6-speed DSG, automatic. 104,000 miles. This interior is in pretty nice shape. Got the cool GTI logo embossed into the headrests. It's got a 2-liter TSI turbocharged 4-cylinder. Interesting story. When I was shopping for the Golf GTI, because I've always wanted one, I actually was cross-shopping the 2014 Chevrolet SS because it just came to the States. Man, this thing revs. I was on the fence because, wow, you know, 6.2-liter V8, family sedan, practical sleeper status, but I just wasn't ready for that. I had GTI on the brain. So here we are, 4 years later, 104,000 miles on the clock, and this car is still running like butter. Of course, German cars are notorious for having issues, reliability, things like that. This car has been quite reliable, more than some may think. Regular preventative maintenance, oil changes, DSG transmission. I'm due for another transmission drain and fill. I got to change the fuel filter. Haven't done that yet. 100,000 miles, 104 to be exact. This car is held up quite well. What makes this car special? Well, it's a driver's edition for one. They don't do that trim often, I don't believe. It came with a bunch of swag. It came with a keychain, ball cap, parking sign, where it says GTI parking only. I don't use it. Came in a nice presentation box, came with a authenticity certificate, and they were the last to be made in their Wolfsburg plant in Germany. Now, this is not a manual transmission. This is a DSG gearbox, 6-speed. I was on the fence. I really wanted this. I love a manual, but I was fascinated by the dual direct shift gearboxes, at the time, and still am. I find this gearbox is so quick for a stock dual clutch gearbox. It is awesome. There is sport mode that holds the RPMs more. That's a lot of fun. Now, some people won't mind that. Let's take this nice back road here. One of my favorite things about this car, believe it or not, I have a family, and this fits us fairly comfortably. It's not a big car. In this American market full of SUVs, for a family like mine, you'd think I'd be going SUV. And we did have a Chevy SUV for a while, and that served as great. I wouldn't mind getting another SUV down the road. But for the size of this car, it's small. It's actually fairly roomy inside. It's a hatchback, so you have that practicality built in which is really great. It's a pretty good sized hatchback. We have enough room for 5. Now my kids are a lot bigger now since we bought this, so it's not the most comfortable, you know, road trip car. We'll take the bigger Chevy SS for that, but for, you know, short trips and whatnot, it does the job quite well. Surprisingly comfortable, practical, and fun as hell to drive. I mean, this thing handles so nice on these twisties. It's not the sharpest handling car. It's a good balance of comfort and handling. It's not the fastest car either, but it's quick. 200 horsepower, about the same amount of torque, and believe it or not, I believe that's to the wheels. Mark 6 owners who've put this same car in stock form on a dyno are pushing out consistently around 200 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque. Keep in mind, this Golf has been around since the 70s, the GTI name. They've had decades to refine this car and, you know, fine-tune it. Now, that brings me to another point. I haven't driven a Mark 7 yet, but there's tons of reviews on that. But even to this point, the Mark 6, it's amazing how refined this is for such an inexpensive sport compact car. I mean, the leather interior, the leather-wrapped flat-bottom steering wheel, the soft touch places all around the dash, all around the door. I mean, it is a nice place to be in. The switch gear is really, you know, simple, understated, typical Volkswagen. This car rides smooth too. I mean, it feels planted. When I first bought this car, and even to this day, it feels like you're driving a bank vault. It's a great vehicle for daily driving, city, highway. It'll take it all. You really get a nice package from Volkswagen in this car. Cart the family around, get some groceries, autocross if you really want to. I've never tracked this car, but you could. A lot of people do. I think 0-60 is around, what, 6.5 seconds or so? If you put a tune in this car, oh my God, it really wakes it up. So, in conclusion, what are my favorite things about this car? 1, practicality. Practicality. That is a big deal in my family. Hatchback, seats 5, 4 comfortably. Decent gas mileage. We average about 25 city highway, sometimes better than that. Number 2, sporty performance. Fun as hell to drive, man. It's quick, agile, nimble, great overall performance in its segment. And 3rd, this one is German built. It just feels good. I haven't driven a Mark 7, and I'm sure those feel good too. But something about knowing that this came from Germany, its home country, it's one of the last ones to be shipped from Wolfsburg, makes the car special to me. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share, and please subscribe, support the channel, help me deliver you some more great content. Thanks for watching.